So let's rewind to the beginning here. So you're a lawyer by training. Okay. You kind of found yourself into the family business, whether you wanted to or not, I don't know. But you ended up leading the company for almost 30 years. And you took it from where it was to, I don't know how many billions of dollars you guys are doing now. And what impressed me the most about your leadership style was, I mean, you accomplished a lot, but it was the humility. Right? You never took credit. You were always quick to shine the spotlight on other people. And that's really interesting you openly admit that you're not a builder. It's not your expertise. You
That's
just
right.
know people who are.
I can't build a card house.
So in an industry like construction, where it's can be unacceptable to show vulnerability, express weakness, and admit that you don't know, how did you come to the realization that that wasn't actually a weakness, but rather like a huge advantage?
Well, let's ask first how I came to the realization that that's what I had to do, rather than whether it was an advantage or not. My first leadership was as being as area manager in our Western Canadian operations. I was 29 years old. Long story there, but in any event, there I was. And I didn't know anything about construction. I've got all these people around me who do, and some very great people, and frankly, some not so great people. And so I didn't have any choice. If I wasn't nice to these people, if I wasn't asking them for their advice, given that I didn't know what to do, I would have failed miserably. My leadership style at the very beginning was to try and figure out who among that fairly large group of construction people we had knew what they were doing, and to be very nice to them,
Mm-hmm.
and to not only make them feel needed, which they were, but welcome and at home, to make them feel like this is where they wanted to be, so that they would stay. So it was pure necessity on my part at the beginning.
Okay, no, interesting. So when you talk about culture, like you mentioned, making people feel like they want to stay. Like to me, that's what culture is, and it's hard to really put your finger on, right?
That's right. So construction, I can't speak about any other business, Angel. I've been in this business. I was only a lawyer for like 6 months, and I realized that wasn't for me. I was going to be better in business. So I got into this business, and it's the only business I've ever known. In construction, you've just got the people who are doing the building in your company, and the people who are supporting them. You don't have anything else. You don't have any intellectual property. You don't have any equipment, really. You got some, very little. So you've got those people. And if you can get those people, or better yet, if you can get out of the way of those people so that they're operating at the very top of their potential and reaching for more potential, well, that's how you're going to win, I think. And if people understand, because that was my experience, I guess, that they don't know how far they can go. But let's go on this road together, and we'll figure out how far you want to go, how far you can go. Let's go. Let's just see what happens. Let's not worry about it. Then you end up with people who really want to stay, who are having fun, and you end off on an adventure because you don't really know where you're going.
So would you say that's the plan, is to just kind of be there with them and help them find their way? Or because a lot of organizations, the ones I've worked in and other leaders I talk to, it's almost like it's management heavy. This is the plan. This is how you do it. This is the process. And I don't think a lot of people like that. There's some people that like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. I think largely, one of the basic needs of a human is a little bit of autonomy, some freedom, and the ability to see how their actions are part of the bigger picture, right? How they fit into the grander scheme of things, something bigger than themselves.
So a lot of people before me, there's something I'm sure you've heard of that everybody's probably heard of called Maslow's hierarchy of needs. At the very top of that is he uses fancier terms. The term I use is self-worth, a feeling of pride in yourself, a feeling that what you do matters. Once you're earning enough money to feed your family, once you've got clothes in your back, then you start thinking, okay, what can I do that really engages me? If you come up with a culture, and a culture is nothing more than an environment that fosters and encourages that. And I'm not saying we succeeded every day. I'm not saying I'm particularly great at that. But if you strive to do that, and you can make sure people know that that's the whole idea here behind EllisDon, not necessarily to build that building on time and on budget, but to make you successful in your career. And then you don't need to worry, they'll build the building on time and on budget, because personal accountability is a big one of our values. But you're accountable to each other. So if you give people that feeling, then you attract the best people.
Mhm.
Just what you just said. That's what people want.
Mhm.
Well, if you give it to them, the best people will come and the best people will stay. And the people who say, just as you said, just tell me what you want me to do and I'll go do it. Well, they leave because those people aren't going to take the company anywhere.